Hello everyone. Today's grammar lesson is entitled Present Simple versus Present Progressive and Stative Verbs. Student book, page 11. That's why I invite you to get your books ready. In our lesson, we'll be targeting three main objectives. The first one is to recall some uses of present simple and present progressive tenses. The second one is to deduce the difference between stative and dynamic or action verbs in meaning and in use through analyzing sentences. The third and last is to practice the present simple and the present progressive tenses through completing a dialogue correctly. Are you ready? Let's begin. Our warming up activity is as simple as this. Read the three sentences and match them to their appropriate uses in the gray boxes and their appropriate tenses in the blue ones. Would you please pause the video and give it a try? All right, I think you're done, yes? Let's then check together. Sentence 1. The sun sets in the west. What do you think it expresses? Amazing! That's certainly a general truth or a fact. It is a thing that is known or proved to be true. And so, which tense is required here? Excellent! It's the present simple tense. Any other examples of general truths or facts? Great! The world is round. The sun is a star. So, for general truths, we use the present simple tense. What about sentence 2? The train from London arrives at 9:15. What do you think it demonstrates? Wonderful! The time 9:15 shows that it is a future action related to a timetable. And which tense is used here? That's right. Doubtlessly, it's the present simple tense. Any other exemplary sentence for a future action related to a timetable? That's right. They have a meeting with their boss tomorrow at 10 a.m. I think it's evident now that sentence 3, I can't talk right now, I'm driving, expresses an action happening at the time of speaking. It is evident too that the tense used is the present progressive tense. I'm driving. What about you? What are you doing right now? You are certainly watching the video, right? My question now is the following. Are these the only situations where we use these tenses? The answer is absolutely not. But before going through them, let's recall together the different forms of the present simple and the present progressive tenses. How do we form the present simple tense? I'm sure you know the answer. But anyway, let's have a look at the following example. Do not hesitate. Your answer is correct. We add s or es to the verb when the subject is he, she, or it. And here are a few more examples of the present simple tense in the affirmative form, I work, he sleeps, in the interrogative or question form, do you work, does she sleep, and in the negative form, they don't work, it doesn't sleep. What about the present progressive tense? How do we form it? Who can remind us of the rule as it shows in the following example? Fantastic! To form the present progressive tense, we keep to be in the present simple plus verb plus ing. And here are further examples of the present progressive tense in the affirmative, interrogative, and negative forms. And now it's time to go back to our first main point and main objective, which is to recall some uses of present simple and present progressive tenses through matching. For this, we need to open our book's page 11, exercise A. Match the sentences 1-8 with some uses of the present simple and the present progressive. Here is our activity. Take a quick look at the sentences from 1 to 8. What do you notice about them? Exactly. We have already solved 3 of them in our warming up activity. But can you remember which ones we have solved? Excellent! Sentences 2, 5, and 8. Sentences 2 and 8 are illustrations of the present simple tense. Sentence 2 for general truths and 8 for future actions related to official programs and timetables. However, sentence 5 is an illustration of the present progressive tense, expressing an action happening at the time of speaking. Now, the ball is in your court. Pause the video and do the rest of the activity. You're done, right? Let's then discuss our answers. Focus on sentence 1. Which tense is used in this sentence and what does the word constantly express? You are definitely right. The tense used is the present progressive. And the word constantly expresses annoyance. That's why sentence 1 goes with H. Let's carry on with the present progressive tense and refer to sentence number 7. Fortunately, recycling is becoming more and more popular nowadays. What does the expression more and more convey? Absolutely. It conveys a situation which is changing or developing around the present time. That's why sentence 7 goes with E. In this way, we're done with the uses of the present progressive tense. But we still have 3 more sentences. Sentence 3, 4, and 6. In the 3 of them, the present simple tense is used. Let's start with sentence 3. The goalkeeper kicks the ball to Ronalds. What does it sound like? Where can we hear such a sentence? You are simply great. Certainly we can hear it in sports commentaries. That's why sentence 3 goes with D. Oh no, there goes our bus. This is sentence 4. What punctuation mark is used in this sentence? Wonderful! That's certainly an exclamation mark. And so, sentence 4 matches with G. The last sentence is, in this week's episode, Detective Anders finds another important clue. I would like you to focus on the word episode. Does it ring a bell? Of course, yes. This refers us to the plot of a book, a film, a series. That's why sentence 6 matches with F. Before moving on, let's recapitulate. We use the present simple tense for general truths, for future actions related to official programs and timetables, in sports commentaries, to refer to the plot of a book, film, etc., and in exclamatory sentences with of, here, there, etc. However, we use the present progressive tense to express actions happening at the time of speaking, for situations which are changing or developing around the present tense, and with always, constantly, and continually to express annoyance. And don't forget, dear students, that you can always refer to the grammar reference section, page 90, for more details and more clarifications. Stative versus dynamic. This is the second main point in our lesson today. Have a look at this list of verbs. Which ones of them do you think are dynamic and which ones are stative? Hold on and think for some time. Great, let's check. Believe, stative. Grow, dynamic. Listen, dynamic. Feel, stative. Belong, again stative. Admire, also stative. Draw, dynamic. Can you figure out the difference between a dynamic and a stative verb? Certainly yes. A dynamic verb expresses an action. It expresses the process of doing something. However, a stative verb expresses a state or a condition rather than an activity. What's special about stative verbs? Can you guess? Such verbs are not normally used in the present progressive because they describe states and not actions. But is it always the case? The answer is in exercise B, page 11. Read the sentences below and answer the questions. One more time, click on the pause button and do the exercise. Are you ready to share your answers? I'm sure you are. Does the verb feel have the same meaning in both sentences? I definitely agree with your answer. No, it doesn't. In which sentence does the verb feel express a state and in which does it express an action? Fabulous! In sentence 2, it expresses a state. That's why it is used in the present simple tense. However, in sentence 1, as the picture shows, it expresses an action. That's why it is used in the present progressive tense. What can we deduce about stative verbs? You have certainly come to the conclusion that some stative verbs like have, see, and taste are used in progressive tenses when they express actions rather than states. Let's examine two more examples. This soup smells delicious. She is smelling the milk to see if it has turned sour. Why do you think the verb smell is conjugated in the present simple in sentence 1 while it is conjugated in the present progressive in sentence 2? Excellent! The answer is as simple as this. In sentence 1, the verb smell expresses a state. However, in sentence 2, it expresses an action. To learn more about stative verbs, we need to solve exercise C, page 11, with reference to the reading text, page 8, and more particularly to paragraphs 3 and 5. Put the verbs into the correct groups below. Please do pause your video to perform the task. Wow, I'm sure you are doing great. Let's see the answers together. Which verbs are considered to be stative? Number 1, verbs of the senses. Number 2, verbs of emotions and preferences. 3, verbs of perception, belief, knowledge, and opinion. 4, verbs of ownership, together with other verbs which describe permanent states. And you have examples for all of them. It is said that practice makes perfect. Do you believe in that? Personally, I do. That's why it's time to practice all that we have acquired in our lesson today. For the last time, pause the video and complete all the dialogue in exercise D, page 11, with the present simple or the present progressive of the verbs in brackets. You're done, right? Let me then display the answers for the first part of the dialogue. Check for yourselves. How are your answers so far? All correct, right? I really hope so. Still with exercise D, page 11. Here are the answers for the second part of the dialogue. Please continue self-checking. I'm sure you did great. Once you finish checking, reread the whole dialogue and role play it with a partner. The closure of our lesson today is a wrap-up activity of the uses of the present simple and the present progressive tenses. Do you still remember them? Certainly you do. What you need to do is the following. In the boxes below, write PS for present simple and double P for present progressive. All right, who can restate the uses of the present simple tense covered in today's lesson? Great answer! Here they are. The present simple tense is used for general truths, for future actions related to official programs and timetables, in sports commentaries, to refer to the plot of a book, film, etc., and in exclamatory sentences with of, here, there, etc. What about the uses of the present progressive? Who can remind us of them? Excellent! Here they are. The present progressive tense is used for actions happening at the time of speaking, for situations that are changing or developing around the present time, and finally with always, constantly, and continually to express annoyance. This video will be available on Microsoft Teams. Thanks for watching.